This is Karen Ryan with Long and Foster in Reston.
And I'm Brian Hope with Prosperity Home Mortgage.
So we're here to give you another one of our updates. It's early October and we're excited. The market has leveled out somewhat. We're in both a good seller market and a very good buyer market. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but before we want to talk about the big elephant in the room. So everybody's talking about interest rates, and there are things going on with interest rates, but there's also a lot of news that's not really quite as accurate as you might look at, and it's all about the perspective, looking at it from a financial and economic perspective. So Brian, tell us about that.
Yeah, I think perspective is everything in this market right now. So I talk with a lot of purchasers that may have bought over the last 3 to 5 years, and they got their first home and they're sitting at a 3.5% interest rate or a 2.8% interest rate, and for them they're thinking, wow, rates are high.
Right.
But for generations like the baby boomers and generations after that, they've purchased homes through the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, and they look at rates and they go, these aren't that bad.
Right.
These are actually lower, way lower than their first home, right? So it's all about perspective. So that's where when I talk to the client, it's all about figuring out what they qualify for,
right,
of course, and what mortgage payment is comfortable, and then we can start structuring, okay, what product best fits that specific client, right? Whether it's buying down the interest rate with points, looking at adjustable rates, looking at other terms other than a 30-year,
right,
if they know that the payment's comfortable to go a little bit higher. So we have all of those options, but that initial consultation to go through the numbers is so important.
It is so important, and we see that whether you're a first-time buyer, whether you're looking at a VA loan. We have great programs. Long and Foster is very big in supporting veterans. We have great programs with Prosperity with that, and or if you're looking to downsize, or you're just looking to transition into the next type of home you want to be in. So from a seller's market, it's just about, again, being prepared, working with your realtor, knowing what's going on out in the market. We're seeing that rates will probably, that the sales price will probably stay flat for the next several months. We'll probably see a little bit of an increase, maybe 3 to 4% in the springtime, we're projecting with all our economic forecasts. So it's still a good time to sell. On the buying side, you're not having this competition like we were in the early spring. So you have a lot more options. And aren't you starting to see now where offers have come in that you're working with, where they have home contingencies, or they definitely want to get a home inspection, or even people are looking at ARMs. So can you talk about that a little bit, what you're seeing the last few weeks?
Yeah, and obviously I work with the buyers, right?
Right.
So that's my goal and my role in general. But I love this market for a buyer for a number of reasons. Although rates may have been a little bit lower 6, 8, 12 months ago, remember what they had to do to purchase that home, right? So we were going through contracts where they were in multiple competition with buyers, 15, sometimes up to 15 or 20 offers on one particular home. And so they had to bid that price up, sometimes 50, I saw $75,000, I saw $100,000 over the list price. So you might have gotten a lower interest rate, but you were way overpaying for what the house was actually worth.
Right.
And you were waiving contingencies from home inspection to financing to appraisal. Now we're in this market where they can go in with all these contingencies to feel protected. They don't have to necessarily escalate crazy amount over the list price.
Right.
I'm getting contracts ratified where the buyers are going at list or even under list price sometimes. I'm also seeing contracts come in where purchases are going in at list and getting some money back from the seller to help pay for closing costs. Right?
Yeah, those credits are great.
And they're huge.
Yeah.
And that's money that the buyer feels right now, right? They can use that money for closing costs. They can use that money to buy down the interest rate. And so they're getting a better deal for the property right now. There's a little more inventory.
Right.
So I really do like this market a little bit more than where we were about a year ago. It was craziness earlier this year in January, February, and now it's leveling out a little bit.
And this is really more a stable buyer's market, and this is the kind of market that we want to see, because you want both the seller and the buyer to be able to feel comfortable in their home purchase or the sale of their home, and it's more, as I say, level.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're here to help you. If you have any questions at all, whether it's type of loans that you can qualify, Brian can help you with that. And I certainly can help you on doing competitive analysis and what your home's worth in the area, or as a buyer, what options you might have too. So this is Karen Ryan. Thanks again for joining us today.
And Brian Hope with Prosperity. Thanks so much.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.